Hello, darlings. This is a very spontaneous diary on how to enhance your well-being through a very simple, practical tool. My dear, dear, dear friend reminded me of this the other day, and there's a version of it in the book, The Magic, that I refer to all the time by Rhonda Byrne. And it's a 28-day practice to gratitude. I'll share her version, I'll share my friend's version, and maybe you'll incorporate both, or maybe you will feel drawn to one or the other. So, first, my friend. She's the type of friend that we do sessions together as well, and they end up turning into like 4 or 5 hour sessions. And I'm like, do you want to just stay the night in my office and I'll make more cacao? Anyway, so she was telling me, I was like, you look so vibrant. And when we were doing her Reiki and really tapping into her field, her guides were extremely delighted with, they kept saying the purity of her vessel, the purity of her vessel. And I knew my friend had been eating well and working out, and that showed, of course. And this friend of mine too is very keen on making sure her supplements are supporting her and her diet supports her, and then her energy, her emotions, making sure that she's moving in a way in the day that is providing for others because she is a service provider, but then she is filling her cup back up. So she does an amazing job at all of this. But there was something else. There was just an undescribable radiance. And as I got into her Reiki, often I'll begin channeling when I'm in that space, and her guides were just showering her with so much appreciation for clearing and cleaning her vessel. And what they were speaking about was her words, her language, and the way she had been purifying her cells in that way. And I brought it up to her and I was like, your guides had a very particular message. And I was like, beyond the meat suit stuff, which of course really affects your psychic abilities. I did not believe in this for a very long time. And recently they have been showing me that lesson. Maybe a conversation for at the end of this or another day. Anyway, so I said that, they're really happy with your movement, your workouts, your diet. I was like, but the reason you've been getting more and more downloads, which she was like, I'm in tune all the time. She's like, especially when I'm providing a service, she's like, I feel like my body is channeling energy. I'm doing moves and motions that I've never been trained. I've never been taught. My body is moving itself almost. It's sort of like the way the body's being breathed when you're really relaxed and allowing that to be so. So, the thing is, sorry, my phone rang and distracted me. The thing was, though, her guides were like, the language, mention the language to her. And I was like, so what is this they're talking about? She was like, she got teary-eyed and she's like, I know exactly what they're talking about. She's like, before I drink something or before I eat, she's like, I'm always praying over it. I'm saying, thank you for this beautiful blessing of hydration. Thank you for nourishing my body so that I can nourish other bodies. Thank you for helping me detoxify and move things out of my body. Thank you for keeping my skin glowy and my energy high and my cells nice and juicy and hydrated and healthy, and abracadabra. And she finishes with abracadabra, and I love that. Abracadabra in Aramaic means Aramaic? I'm saying that wrong. So I said it and I was like, wait a second. You hopefully know what I mean. Either way, abracadabra translates to, as I speak, I create. So it is casting spells, abracadabra. And I love that she just seals her prayer in with that. And she's like, I do it over my food. I do it over anything that's going into my vessel. And I was like, your guides really love the intentionality that you're placing there, because it's affirming through everything that you're taking in to maintain the vessel and keep it pure. And so that reminded me of the practice I heard in the book. And I have been doing that lately, especially abracadabra. I'm like, abracadabra, yum. She's like, I do it all over my martinis when I have like my occasional 2 martinis a month when I go out with my husband. I'm like, yeah, I love that. Like, enjoy it. Like, we're here in these bodies to enjoy and have pleasure in a balanced way. So In the book, The Magic, Rhonda Byrne also speaks about this, but she speaks about it in a very general sense. So yes on the food, yes on the water, and anything you're taking into the vessel, but sprinkle that before you. Like she calls it fairy dust. And so think about sprinkling fairy dust into the coffee shop before you walk in. May everyone be blessed. May everyone be joyful. May this, business be extremely profitable. May they make more money than they thought they could so that they can hire more workers and provide more income for families and continue to serve the people. And then blessing a client before they walk in. Like, may they be happy. May they be healthy. May they have a good relationships and support, and may they find their purpose and feel illuminated and lit up in it, and on and on and on. So you send the blessings out like a little fairy ahead of yourself. It's like rolling out a red carpet of magic and then walking. And you'll notice that others notice this in you. They'll be like, did you do something to your hair? Is that I like that color on you. They'll usually try to assimilate it to something physical. Like, did you do something different? And it is maybe you being lit up inspires you to change something about your appearance, and that people may notice that. But I reckon they also notice the illumination that is radiating out of you, that grace, that ease, that magnetism, that purity. I love that word purity. It relates to a gene key actually in the hologenetic profile. You may have one, the 12 it is. My words are getting, I'm like downloading it to you before I actually say the word. The 12 relates to purity. And so I actually happen to know this friend that had shared that about speaking into her food and water. She has the 12. She didn't even know she had the 12. So that was even cooler to see how she was relating to the word purity so deeply. And how her guides were choosing to use that word. So that was really awesome. We both were surprised at the end, being like, wait, you have that gene key? And she was like, what? And I'm like, what? Your guides fucking knew. I didn't even know, while I was doing the session. So it's just beautiful. It's all connected, of course. I know some of this might not surprise many of you who are on this frequency, and you're like, yeah, synchronicities happen all the time. And also, I am that person that will still be like, oh my fucking God, did you see the double number? Did you see the license plate that said manifest? Did you see the stranger notice the radiance? It's just like all of its synchronicities. And I love to celebrate them because I love to be celebrated. And so who better to celebrate me than me, and to encourage that frequency. So, and I love to celebrate others because I know how that feels. So I hope that is supportive and helpful for you. I hope that you give it a shot, give it a try. Sprinkle fairy dust ahead of you before your meetings, to your family members, in the places you're about to eat and drink in, and watch how your vibe attracts your tribe and how your energy just expands because it's tapped into one of the most expansive frequencies there is, which is gratitude, appreciation, and love for yourself. I love you. Speaking of love, and I'll see you soon.